Hi everyone and welcome to KRYPTALK, that Irish guy that talks about Bitcoin. So in this episode we have to talk about the latest Bitcoin crash and why Bitcoin crashed by $1,000 in just the last 24 hours. We're going to look at what caused that. We're also going to look at why this might necessarily be a bad thing. That could actually be a good thing and a good buying opportunity. And we're going to take a look at week number 3 of my dollar cost averaging experiment. So if that sounds interesting to you, you want to learn a bit more, stick around. Let's get started. This is episode number 14 and the title of this episode is Bitcoin crashed again, what happens next? So let's take a quick look at the charts. Alright, let's get the basics out of the way. So this is the Kraken chart. These are daily candles and Bitcoin is trading at $10,711. So what's after happening here? These are all these candles, these green and red bullish and bearish candles represent 1 day of trading. As you can see here, we are underneath the EMA ribbon, which is obviously a bearish bad sign. We are underneath that midpoint or basis of the Bollinger Band on the daily, which is also bearish. We've had a bit of a spike in volume, so that shows it's a legitimate breakout. So that's where we're at the moment. And the last episode here, before that, we were in this ascending triangle. So if you look at it here, just gonna kind of highlight a few things here. So what we have here is we tested $12,000 or roughly about the 10,000 euro level. That was back on August 2nd. We did it again here. We got another rejection. That was back on the 10th of August. Here, fake out 1 day. That was August 17th. It went up. It broke above $12,000. Then it got rejected. So it's kind of like a fake out there. So it's keep getting rejected. It keeps getting rejected at that $12,000 and just roughly around 10,000 euro level. And here again, we had a rejection. So it did go up there on, it was 2 days ago. So it was what day is today? Thursday. Yeah, so that was Tuesday. It went up on the 1st of September. Got rejected, back down, and yeah, that's where we're trading at today. So at 10,687. So that's what it looks like at the moment. Now switching to the 4-hourly chart, we can see that this volume here, this volume breakout, the spike in volume is a lot more obvious. We can also see that the lowest point that this crash went down to was, lo and behold, $10,509. So that's TA right there. So $10,500 was not only a very strong kind of resistance level when Bitcoin was trading under, but now it's acting as very strong support. Now I just want to remind you what I said in the last episode. In the last episode I said I do believe Bitcoin will trade under $10,000 again. I also do believe that the gap, that CME futures gap at 9,600 will be filled. Obviously, long term, I'm very bullish on Bitcoin. I do believe this price is going to increase. I do believe in our lifetime we'll probably see a $50,000, maybe even $100,000 Bitcoin. It's not financial advice. No one knows what's really going to happen. So make sure you do your own research. But just a few reasons why I think now that the Bitcoin price is going to drop down under $10,000 again. Now this first one, okay, this first pattern, it's a bit strange. I'll just go ahead and show you. So this pattern happens a lot. It's been nicknamed the Bart Simpson pattern. And you can kind of start to see why. So it looks like his hair. I know that's a bit ridiculous, but look, Bitcoin tends to do this a lot. It shoots up, then there's kind of sideways movement or some sort of consolidation pattern, and then it gets rejected. So that's one reason. Because if we look at the target down here, like lo and behold, that's like 9,500. The CME gap is 9,600. I said it in the last episode. I'll say it again. I'm putting in a buy order for Bitcoin underneath that $9,600 level. I think 9,500, putting in that buy order so it triggers when Bitcoin drops down. Then you get some, kind of Bitcoin on sale or some good value Bitcoin. Now, I've just got rid of Bart Simpson there because resting a prediction on a pattern that looks like a cartoon character, solely doing that would be ridiculous. But that does actually happen. That pattern does tend to play out in Bitcoin. Could be manipulation. I'm not sure why. I've heard people suggest that. Doesn't matter anyway. A second reason I think we're due for a further correction. Now this all depends on if Bitcoin trades underneath 10,500 and that support is breached, then this may happen. Okay. Another reason is we're in an ascending channel. That's the height. Let's just say that's the height of the, we're in ascending triangle. So let's just say that's the height of the triangle. Now, the breakout was here. Now, if we take another look at that, what's the target there? That would be 10,239. So let's say if that actually does happen, then you're underneath 10,500, underneath that support. It's possible it could go down further. Again, not financial advice, no one really knows, but I'm just looking at some other different angles. Now, I've just switched back to the daily chart and I've zoomed out just so you can see what's happened for the last few months. Like if I showed this chart to a 10-year-old, they'd be able to tell you that the line is going up. So at the end of the day, the trend is your friend until the end. And if you start down here, right, one of the reasons I think that we're probably due for a short-term price correction or a short-term downtrend or pullback is because people are inevitably going to take profits. Because if you bought in down here, up to the peak there, that is 215%. It's inevitable. Some people want to make money. They want to take their profits, and more power to them. So they're probably not long-term hodlers. Might be day traders or short-term traders, and that's fair enough. They want to make the profits. They just want to make money, and that's all right. So my point is that even if we came down to say, let's say that Bart Simpson pattern played out and came down to even like here. Like you're still in an uptrend. You've still gone from 3,800 to, just over 9,000. And that would be, and that's only going to get bought up because people are going to recognize that as a buying opportunity, and it would be right back up past 10, 10.5, and hopefully up towards 12. 12 seems to be very, very hard to beat. Now, I am going to explain just why the $12,000 level is so important in just a minute. But before I do that, I want to ask you a question. If Bitcoin was to drop down back here again to $3,800, would you buy Bitcoin? Okay, would you buy a whole Bitcoin? Would you buy half? Would you even just start dollar cost averaging, knowing what has happened over the last few months? Because to be honest, if this happens again, I'll go to the credit union and bang, I'll buy more. Okay, because if you look at what's after happening, look at what's happening in the last few months. I'd be willing to bet that history would repeat itself and maybe even go higher. Now, I don't think it's going to go down to 3,800. I'm just using this to make a point that if this goes down to $9,000, it's a buying opportunity. And don't forget, you don't have to buy a full Bitcoin. What normal person has $9,000 just hanging around? You can start small, buy like 1% of one, or buy 0.1 of one, or only ever invest what you can afford to lose. Okay, so just taking a look at the $12,000 level, why that's so important. Now, I've switched to the monthly view. So every single candle you see here, the green ones are bullish candles, the red ones are bearish candles. Just want to talk about this candle here because this is the December 2017 candle. You notice it's the highest and has the highest wick. So Bitcoin would have opened trading on December 1st, 2017 at $10,000, just over $10,000. Now, during December, it went all the way up to its all-time high at $19,500, just say like just under $20,000. But on New Year's Eve, so December 31st, 2017, it would have closed at $14,000, and that's the that's why the main body of the candle is like that, and then you have these skinny wicks. So even though it did go higher, it actually closed the month here. So it's a bullish monthly close. Now, if you take a look at the second highest one, that was August. So August we closed at 11,686. That is the second highest monthly close in Bitcoin's history. The third highest close was 11,325, and that was in July. If that's not bullish, I don't know what is bullish. Think about this. This was a parabolic move here. This was an unsustainable parabolic, almost vertical move. It was unsustainable. It was a bubble. But this is organic growth. More people know, we've got massive adoption. This is good news. So we're due a correction here. We're due a kind of a pullback. So we have this more for sustainable growth. Yeah, so that's it. That's it for the charts for today. Before I go on any further, I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you to anyone who's watched the videos or liked the videos or engaged with the channel by leaving comments. If you haven't done so already, maybe you consider subscribing just to stay up to date with the latest Bitcoin news and price action. I really do appreciate it and helps me grow the channel. Right, so right at the moment now, what I want to talk about is my dollar cost averaging experiment. This is week 3 of the dollar cost averaging experiment. So what I'm doing is every single episode or once a week, I'm buying €10 worth of Bitcoin using the Coinbase exchange. And at the end of the 10 weeks, we're going to see if it's in profit or in loss. Right, so I'm going to do that now. Okay, so this is week 3 of my dollar cost averaging experiment. So the point of this is to show people how to dollar cost average. Just in case you don't know, so it's when you just regularly put a small amount of money into Bitcoin instead of, like, you know, putting your life savings or buying or selling your house or car or something ridiculous like that. Right, so I have, so far, this is the third time. So it's the third time I'm purchasing a tenner. So €10 worth. So buy €10 worth of Bitcoin. Okay, preview the buy. Yeah, good to go, and buy now. Right. Okay, so purchase was successful. Just want to draw your attention down here. So once your friend buys or sells 84.38 of cryptocurrency, you will both get €8.44 for free of Bitcoin. So it's free Bitcoin, free money. So there's a link in this video. There should be a link, my affiliate link for, it's kind of like an affiliate link for Coinbase. If you click on that, and if you use that, basically, if you buy this amount of crypto, you will both get $8.44 free. So if you're going to do it anyway, if you want to use it, you don't have to, but it's up to you. So yeah, so the purchase was successful. And now if I look at the portfolio, so I've invested €30, so 3 tenure, and it's down to €25.45. I have no idea what's going to happen. Like, in the next, I'm going to do this 7 more times. So if I release an episode per week, that's 7 more weeks. So you're talking, it's going to bring you up to the end of October, start of November. So I will definitely have spent €100. I don't know, that could be down to 30, 40, €50, or the opposite could happen. It could be worth €200. I don't know yet. That's the whole point. But if you hold long term, my belief is that if I hold long term, it will be worth more. So yeah, it'll be interesting anyway over the next few weeks. A lot can change. November is typically pretty bullish month for Bitcoin. So yeah, so that's week 3. I invested €30, and in total I'm left with $25.45. Remember, Coinbase is actually very, very high fees. Yeah, so that's that done. So let's take a look at the news. Right, so I'm just going to really quickly fly through this news article, because this kind of just sums up why the crash actually happened. And you know, we've seen these crashes before, but I suppose it was a significant crash because it's over $1,000 in 24-hour period. So this is by Cointelegraph, and the headline reads, 3 reasons why Bitcoin price suddenly plunged 7%, liquidating 100 million in longs. Okay. So one reason was miner outflows. So as reported earlier today, large-scale mining pools are sending higher than normal amounts of Bitcoins to exchanges in recent days. When that happens and there's a sell-off, the price tends to decrease. People take profits, the price tends to decrease. Generally, selling tends to decrease the price. The second reason is US dollar rally. So as the dollar began to rally from a multi-year support area, both Bitcoin and gold declined sharply. So as the value of the dollar against, say, euros and other currencies increases, its buying power actually increases. So therefore, it's inevitable that gold and Bitcoin are going to decline more as the value of the dollar increases. The third part then, Bitcoin was at strong resistance. This is the $12,000 to $12,500 range. It keeps getting rejected. In the last month, it's been rejected like 5 times. So like, it eventually keeps knocking on the door, will break through it, but not today.
Not today.
Yeah, that's it for this episode. So if you got any sort of content or value, or you learned anything or picked up anything from this episode, please be sure to like, subscribe, and as usual, shlancha. Bye. Hey, if you're still watching and you know nothing about Bitcoin, or maybe you know a little bit about Bitcoin but you want to learn more, consider watching the videos in the Bitcoin Basics playlist above my head right now. Also consider subscribing to the channel. And if you're on Twitter, that's my handle right there. Thanks.